If you're a parent, teacher, or school leader, and you're sick and tired of the frustration, anger, and unfair treatment of children at high risk in our public schools, then perhaps it's time for all of us to do something about it. In this podcast, Dr. Almitra Berry brings you tips, tools, strategies, and tactics to build successful solutions while touching, moving, and inspiring all of us to transform our schools so that every child thrives. Here's your host, Dr. Berry.
Hey there, Equity Warriors. Cesar Chavez said, preservation of one's own culture does not require contempt or disrespect for other cultures. I like that so much, I have to say it again. Preservation of one's own culture does not require contempt or disrespect for other cultures. Think about that. And welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the 3E podcast. As always, got to shout out our new Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. Your contributions do continue to fuel me, this movement for educational equity. And if you haven't joined yet, head on over to patreon.com/3E podcast and support this work and access to exclusive content like my book study. I got to keep promoting that book study. All right. We're coming into the month of May. And, you know, every month has something, but May is freaking jam-packed with opportunities for you as an educator, as an ally, as an administrator, whatever your role is, gives you a chance to honor diverse communities and advocate for systemic change. Of course, we should be doing that every month, right? But here's who's up this month. This month is, or the month of May, Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. It is also Jewish Heritage Month. And here's one you probably have not heard. May is Haitian American Heritage Month, Haitian Heritage Month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And May 14th is Dyslexia Advocacy Day. So there is much to do in the month of May. The challenge is, you know, for me, I would love to do 5 episodes on each. That doesn't work. In our classrooms, what often happens is that our celebrations are kind of surface level. I want you to think about how frequently Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, Jewish American, Haitian, or neurodiverse students, that's a lot. How frequently are they truly seen? How frequently are they truly valued in classrooms and our content? How often are mental health struggles acknowledged in our schools and classrooms without stigma? Just imagine the impact if every educator, every one of you, every equity warrior took action this month to amplify these voices and address inequity. You hear it all the time now. I say it frequently enough. To be silent is to be complicit. So let this month be a month where you speak truth to power, where you speak out, act out, and rise to do what's right for American public education. And here's where we can start. Let's talk about Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Heritage Month. It is a celebration of the contributions of more than 24 million individuals of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander descent in America. While we address the challenges like anti-Asian hate and underrepresentation of these ethnicities in leadership roles, not only in our schools, but also in government, in business. But I have to stay in my lane, so I'm going to focus on school. We need to be talking about and working on, focusing on the importance of integrating these ethnicities, their histories, their contributions into our K-12 education, because their cultural heritage is rich, and their contributions have been impactful, not only in education, but in politics and science and the arts. Their stories still are typically, frequently, mostly underrepresented in our school curricula. I had to think hard about where I saw representation of these people, and it was not frequent. It was not enough. And while I've had the amazing, wonderful life of growing up in a community, those of you who know me know I grew up in Stockton, California, a very diverse community with friends from early childhood all the way through who were of these various groups, and an opportunity to sort of become immersed in their cultures, especially as a child, and being invited into their homes. And then the wonderful opportunities I've had working with the schools in Hawaii. But still, what I've seen and I've experienced is a lack of inclusion in curriculum, too frequently cultural incompetence when it comes to the people who are charged with educating the children. Not enough tools in our toolkits in the classrooms, and certainly not enough advocacy for ethnic studies. Something we're going to dig into a little bit later. We're going to dig into all of that in episode 147. So if this podcast is not on your auto download, mark your calendars for Monday, May 5th, because in that episode, I'm going to give you some practical tools, equip you to enrich your classrooms and empower your students to appreciate the diversity of AANHPI experiences. So, first bucket. Second bucket, Dyslexia Advocacy Day is going to pop up on May 14th. Mark that on your calendars. That is a day to push for equitable literacy instruction that is tailored for neurodiverse learners. Something to think about is how you can improve literacy access for neurodiverse learners, including or especially students with dyslexia, because that's what we're talking about May 14th, but also students with ADHD and other learning differences. I write and talk frequently about how culturally relevant texts can validate students' identities and at the same time foster a love of reading. So I've had some conversations recently. The most impactful, I guess, one for me recently has been with a woman by the name of Christina Rodriguez. She is the founder of Tumbleweed Publishing, and she has shown me some amazing examples of inclusive books that reflect diverse experiences and neurodiverse perspectives, books inspired by children who are neurodiverse. So I asked her to come on the show, and she will. Episode 148, May 12th, right before Dyslexia Advocacy Day. And we're going to talk about what she's doing over at Tumbleweed that, trust me, if you have neurodiverse learners in your classroom, you're going to want to tune in. You do not want to miss this conversation, and particularly, or even more so, if you have neurodiverse learners of color. What they're doing with early literacy, with literacy, is amazing. All right, so what else in May? It's Haitian Heritage Month. And Haitian Heritage Month honors the vibrant, truly vibrant culture, history, and resilience of Haiti and its diaspora. Now, in America, Haiti's a small demographic, but it's vital in our public schools, especially or particularly if you live in Florida, New York, or Massachusetts. Now, if you live in any of the other 47 states, that doesn't mean you should not be paying attention to this. It's just that the communities are a little bit smaller, but that does not mean that they are not there in your school. So this is a perfect opportunity to deepen your understanding of the history of Haiti, their culture, and the global impact. And I'll be the first to say, I've been lax in that area. And for that, I ask forgiveness. As Maya Angelou told us, now that you know better, do better. I promise to do better. So with you this month, I'm going to look more and focus more on the significance of Haitian Heritage Month, its role in affirming the identities of our Haitian American students, while at the same time enriching K-12 curricula. Did you know that over 500,000 public school students are Haitian? Did you know that Haitian Creole is the sixth most common language among our multilingual learners in U.S. schools? Something we often overlook. However, there is another book that I'm working on, and Haitian Creole is one of the 6 sociocultural languages that are being focused on in that book. So I'm digging. But I want to talk about how we provide culturally relevant curriculum. And I know that that means you're going to need some resources for literacy and for activities for your students, or for just this month in teaching Haitian heritage. How do you celebrate that in your classroom? What should you be looking for? But also, like I said, Haitian Creole is the 6th most common language spoken in our schools. So what's the role of bilingual instruction for our Haitian American students, and some culturally affirming programs for them? So here's my promise, episode 149, May 19th. I will provide you with some actionable strategies to celebrate Haitian heritage meaningfully in your schools and classrooms, while at the same time addressing some systemic gaps in representation of those people. All right. 2 years ago this month, way back, I had to dig back into the archives. It was episode 43. I interviewed Jay Goyle and Elsa Fries. He is the founder and she is the chief psychologist of a company called Alongside. Go back and check out episode 43. I don't need to repeat all of it for you here. We talked about mental health in our public schools, mental health in children, as well as in educators and administrators, but focusing mostly on the children because they have this app called Alongside. Anyhow, go back, check it out. Check out the app Alongside. I know it's in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, or whatever those stores are called. You can find the app Alongside. But in May, because it is about mental health awareness, we know that there are still rising rates of anxiety, depression, and burnout, not only with our students, but with our educators, faculty. So we need to have more discussions that center on strategies for fostering well-being in K-12 settings. So if you are not already, start tuning your ear and having conversations about socio-emotional learning. Take a look at what you're doing in your schools. What about culturally competent mental health services? Providing stress management tools. I'll go back. And this is not a commercial for Alongside. It's just something that I know and is an amazing app, a stress management tool, not just for students, but, I play with it as well. Not that I have much stress anymore, but still very cool. So supporting educator mental health is important here as well. So we're going to talk in episode 150 about how you can advocate for systemic changes in schools to prioritize mental health, while also implementing small but impactful practices in your classrooms, in your communities. Tips for you all month, every month. Celebrate cultural diversity. This month in particular, you can host an event or share resources that highlight Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, Jewish American, and Haitian contributions. Use books that are written by authors of those ethnicities and cultures. Organize a cultural workshop in your school. Now, of course, I'm not going to leave it to you to go and dig all of that up. I will be providing some books for you, book lists for you on my Patreon channel. So make sure you're signed up so that you can get those. And then push for some curricula that normalize conversations about mental health. This is not a difficult thing. Mental health knows no race, no ethnicity, no culture. Mental health is health, just like high blood pressure or diabetes. It can affect any of us and all of us. We need to reduce the stigma and teach some emotional regulation techniques through socio-emotional learning. So take a look at that, what's going on in your schools, and then join me for a conversation where I'll provide some more assistance. Celebrate Dyslexia Advocacy Day. Mark the calendars, put it on the school calendar, have a conversation, organize an event on May 14th to raise awareness about dyslexia and to advocate for inclusive educational practices that will empower neurodiverse learners. Make May a month of meaningful action, whether it's amplifying diverse voices in education or advocating for mental health resources. Commit to one tangible step towards equity this month and share your progress with me on social media using the hashtag 3EPodcastEquity. Then join me again next episode. You know what we're going to be talking about. And if you've got a question, a topic you'd like covered, or a special request, text it to me, DM it to me on Blue Sky. Follow me on Blue Sky. Join the conversation. Look in the notes for a link. I do want to hear your stories. And as always, don't worry about the things you cannot change. Change the things you can no longer accept. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the 3E Podcast. Now, here's how you can make a real difference. First, smash that subscribe button. It's free. It's easy. Just do it. Second, share the show with anyone you know who cares about education. And third, consider becoming a supporter of the show. Together, we're not just talking about change, we're making it happen. Make a donation today to be part of that mission and change, and I'll catch you next time.